In this episode of the Daily Digest, I'm going to show you how to extract MIDI data from Logic Pro for iPad and GarageBand on iOS. We're going to use KQ Voice plugins to do this. My name's Jade. This is How to App on iOS. Let's dig in. Here's a project I have here in Logic Pro. It has some piano MIDI data and some guitar MIDI data. We're going to focus on this piano track first of all. So what I need to do first is create a brand new MIDI track. And in this MIDI track here, we're going to go down the bottom and insert an instrument. And I'm going to look for loopback 1 out. There are 4 loopback selections with KQ Voice plugins. I'm just going to use one, and that's ready to go. What I need to do next is grab the MIDI data from the piano and drag that down into this track. I need to solo this track, and we're ready to jump over to AUM. So now in AUM, what I need to do is create a MIDI track and an audio track. And in the effects slot in the audio track, I need to search for loopback. And there is our loopback 1 in. So the number must match. There's 1 to 4. So we're going to pick 1 in. So now that output is going to this input here. And now we need a place to put the MIDI. So I'm going to use Helium from 4 Pockets. You can use Atom 2 as well, but I'm going to use Helium for this example. I'm going to hit sync up the top here, going to hit record, so that's ready to go. And I'm going to also need to connect these two together. So we're going to click on this little hamburger item, and in the input, I'm going to click there and select loopback 1. So now we have the data coming from Logic Pro into here, now being sent into Helium, but we need to hear the instrument. So what I'm going to do is put a piano tech in here. And now I need to connect this Helium with an output to piano tech. So now we should be ready to go. All I need to do, because this is all sunk, it's set to record, all I need to do is hit play up here and it'll start recording. Bounce over to Logic, hit play. We've got sound. And we've got MIDI data recording right now, live here. Perfect. So obviously you would let this keep going until the whole track's finished. And once it's done, you can then save it and export this in with Media Bay. And there you have a full MIDI track that you can open in Cubase or wherever you want. Really good stuff. Let's stop it here. So it's stopped recording. We can bounce back over to Logic Pro and stop that here. Now let's head over here and look at this. We'll pinch this out. And because you can see it's not right at the start here. So I can select all of this. We can just drag and select all of these. Then I'll zoom in. And then grab this and drag it to the start. And there, we're ready to go. If I play this back now, if I click off record, good to go, hit play. Back to the start would help. There's our MIDI data. Beautiful stuff. So that is a way to export stuff from Logic Pro. There's a similar method to do it with GarageBand. Let's take a look at that now. I'm going to leave. We'll clear this out of here. Yeah. Clear all this data out of here. We'll just delete it. Because you need the same setup. We'll keep the exact same setup for GarageBand. We'll close Logic, so we've got nothing running in the background there. Let's open up GarageBand. Here's pretty much the same project. Now, it's a little bit different for this. You need to add a track down here and go to Audio Unit Extensions and find this loopback out 1. There it is. And again, you need to drag the piano MIDI into this track. See if I can get it right. So now we've moved that in there. We can solo this so it's ready to go as well. And again, all I need to do is head back over to AUM, hit record up here because we're all connected the exact same way. We've got record selected, move this back to the start, hit record, jump over to GarageBand and hit play. And again, we've got the data coming through from here. Now this is really, really powerful. You can use MIDI loops that are in GarageBand that you've wanted to use somewhere else. I know for ages I wanted to do that. MIDI loops that are in Logic that you may want to use, or even this. Let's stop that. Bounce back over to GarageBand and stop this here. And we'll remove this track now. We'll delete that. Bounce back over here. Let's clear out these notes again. And we'll delete those. But here's the thing. A lot of people want to be able to move the MIDI from GarageBand of the auto instruments, like the guitar here. Let's play this guitar. But you can't do it, right? Let me show you why. If I add a new track here, if I add a new track and put KQ voices in here, there's our loop back out, and try and move this MIDI, it won't let me do it because it's this special kind of MIDI that is made in the synth and the bass when you're making music this way with the auto drummers and auto tracks, so you can't move it. So the only way you can do this is save the Garage project with the guitar in it. As you can see here, here's my guitar. And you saw at the beginning of the show, if we bounce back over to Logic, here's that guitar sitting right here. Let's unsolo this. We'll move this back up here. Here's our guitar. So essentially, I can do this. I can do this now. We've got our KQ voices in here, the loop back. We can grab these and drag this because it allows us to do it over here in Logic with those guitar tracks that we've recorded with the auto player. So now that this is set to go, we've got our guitar. Let's just get rid of that. But it's coming through over there on AUM as piano. How cool is that? Let's go over to AUM. If I can get over there. There we are. And let's change this to a guitar, because we've got piano tech here. Beautiful. And now we can head back to the start here. Let's just hit play on this. Hit play. Did I delete that just then? That's what happened. We'll hit play again. I hit Control Z. We'll hit play, bounce over to here, hit record. And we're recording the MIDI from the guitar in GarageBand using Logic. Really, really cool to be able to do that. So you can use this method for pretty much anything, yeah? The last thing I want to show you before we go, and I want to thank my good friend Ed Zielinski, who made an amazing video yesterday about the KQ voices. If you haven't seen it, I've put a link down in the description. It's really, really good. Goes for half an hour and it shows you some really cool stuff. And I got this from his video. So I'm going to show you this because I just think this is really, really cool myself. I had no idea you could do this. You don't need any tricks to do this. Let's bounce back over here to Logic and create a brand new project. And over here, I'm going to create a MIDI track. Simple as you like, just a beautiful MIDI track ready to go. You know what? I'll even put some piano in it. We'll pick a piano tech. That's good to go. Now let's bounce over here to AUM and we'll clear out this nonsense. And we'll just create a MIDI track. And in this MIDI track, I'm going to put, I don't know, let's put a scalar in here. So we've got scalar, load it up. And in the little hamburger menu, select here, and in outputs, select AUM source. That's done. Let's get some notes happening in scalar. We'll do a song here. We'll pick like an 80s one. Bang, that's ready to go. Let's drag these in. Put it on a loop. Set it to the door sync on. There we go. Set it to 4 beats. We'll put some notes in here. We'll put a performance so when we hit play. Now, do you notice what's going on? There's no instrument here in AUM. This is going direct into Logic. So I can just start recording. How amazing is that? So putting MIDI data in is perfect. And this works exactly the same for GarageBand. Let me show you that really quickly before we go. So we'll stop that. Stop this. Let's get rid of Logic Pro. We'll close that out. We'll open up GarageBand, create a brand new thing in GarageBand, shall we? And exactly the same method. New song. And of course, we need to just create a MIDI track and put anything we want in it. Anything. So even if I just choose an Alchemy synth, whatever this is, just let it go. Bounce back over to AUM. We already have this set. It's already set to output AUM source. And we hit play. Awesome stuff. How good's that? Seriously, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got some value out of it. Go over, click the link below to Ed Zielinski's channel and check out his video he did yesterday. It's really, really good. You really should watch it. He's got an awesome little channel there. All right, this is the end. Remember, do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better, and we'll all rise together. I'm Jade. This is How to App on iOS. See you on the next one.